नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथिता पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दतामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी.
Verse 3. Verse 3. Yes. Knowledge is rare in terms of its result. Okay. Will I start?
Yes.
Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yadati.
Yatati siddhaye.
Kaschit yadati siddhaye. Yadatamabhi siddhanam. Kaschinmam veti tattvataha. Sahasreshu. Among thousands. Manushyanam of people. Kaschit, a rare person. Yatati makes effort. Siddhaye for moksha. Yatatam api siddhanam. Even among those seekers who are making effort. Kaschit, only a rare person. Mam veti comes to know me. Tattvataha, in reality. Among thousands of people, a rare person makes effort for moksha. Even among those seekers making effort, only a rare person comes to know me in reality. Shankara says that since this knowledge has an extraordinary result, moksha, it is difficult to gain. The difficulty lies in the very uniqueness of this knowledge, and it is this that accounts for its rarity. Generally, knowledge itself is not an end. It is made use of for an end to be gained later. But here, upon knowing this, there is nothing more for you to know, to gain, meaning you no longer have any purusartha. In the choice of moksha, the results of the other three purusharthas, dharma, artha, and kama, are included because in choosing moksha, you choose the whole. Moksha means freedom. Freedom from pursuits of dharma, artha, kama, since it includes what is essentially achieved by any one of them. But moksha is not included in any one of them or in all three of them put together. This result, moksha, is identical with knowledge. The jnana itself is the end. Because of this unique nature of the result, this knowledge becomes a rarity. This knowledge is rare in terms of its difficulty to gain. This particular knowledge is also rare because it is difficult to gain. Any knowledge is difficult when you are not prepared and easy when you are. The nature of knowledge is such that it can be either difficult or easy. Easy is not even the word. You open your eyes and see a flower. It is neither easy nor difficult. All you require is eyesight, and immediately the knowledge is gained. So if a person is prepared, knowledge is simple. If not, it is not that simple. And the preparation for this knowledge is difficult. Therefore, the knowledge is called durlabhatara, most difficult. How difficult it is? Krishna points out by saying, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye. Sahasreshu manushyanam kaschit is a typical Sanskrit expression. In English, we have an equivalent expression, 1 in a million. Sahasreshu means among thousands of people. A qualified recipient, adhikari, is required for any knowledge to take place. The adhikari is those who are qualified to gain this knowledge, or human beings, manushyas. This is the general qualification. Then among these thousands of human beings who are capable of this knowledge, manushyana, only one of them, kaschit, the rare one, makes effort, yadati. He makes effort for the purpose of siddhi, moksha. In general, siddhi means success. But success in a human life is moksha, So he says, Siddhaye for moksha. Among thousands, one given person seeks Atma. Why does he say, Kaschit Yatati? One person makes effort when all human beings are active. Because everyone makes effort, but for things other than oneself, for Anatma. When you are not happy with yourself, you have to keep yourself in good humor. To do this, you have to pursue some desirable things. However, here it is different because you question when you are unhappy with yourself. Am I unhappy by nature or am I just taking myself to be so? Seeking an answer to this question is Atma Icha, a desire to know yourself. If you want to know the Atma, you are not seeking anything else for the sake of Atma. For the sake of Atmartha alone, you seek Atma. For the sake of you, you seek yourself. This is the difference. Self-knowledge is for self-freedom. This is something you have to know and it does not strike you as a possibility. Therefore, Krishna says, Kaschit Yadati Siddhaye. Among all the human beings, there is a given person, a rare person, Kaschit, who makes an effort for the purpose of moksha, Yadati Siddhaye.
See, here also, this Atmartham, it is in our language. Atmarthama pandradilla. Generally, we say, no, when you are not doing it to the full heart, we say, generally in our own language, we have it. You are not Atmarthama pandradilla. You are not doing it with full heart. That means what? Atmartham is part of our culture. In the sense, it is there. It is there in our culture. What is this Atmartham language? It is there part of the culture. But here he mentions, what does it mean? Atmartham means for the sake of Atma alone. You are seeking happiness or being a happy self. That is what is told. Like Atmanastu Kamaya Sarvam Priyam Bhavati. In the sense which we have discussed before also. If you are loving your son, it is not because of your son's sake, but for your sake. In the sense, if the son is in good shape, I will be happy. I will not be disturbed. So that I am not disturbed. That I am with the pleased sense of self. That is the reason why you are ensuring that everything is okay with the son. So this Atmartham, that part of it we don't discern. We think by doing the X, Y, Z, achieving this, achieving that, we will be happy. We don't understand that happiness is nothing but not perceiving a lack in ourselves. If you are just with yourself as Atma, undisturbed, then you are a happy person. That is not discerned. So we think that by achieving something 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, endlessly we have been doing that. Here he says, for the sake of Atmartham alone, you seek Atma. For the sake of you, you seek yourself. That is the difference. That is, since that is the pursuit, he says it is a rarity. Because generally people don't even discern that. You don't know what you don't know. That is the worst part of it. Like, if you don't know what you don't know, nobody can help you because you will never seek. Yeah, that is what this knowledge makes it a rarity. That you are seeking Atma, the self, the pleased self. That is your only, you don't want to lack anything. It is not that you want to fulfill something. You don't want to lack anything. That is your reality. And since you are seeking all the time to fulfill something, you are busy doing that, you don't understand that lack of nothing is self. Self per se what? As it is, self is self only, it doesn't lack anything. If you understand that, you will not look for fulfilling something to be a pleased self. So it is so simple, but it is rare. In the sense, nobody seeks it that way. Nobody looks at life that way. That is why it's a rarity. At the same time, it doesn't really, in the sense, if you know this is what it is, it doesn't need a great effort. If you don't know, it is not going to be easy. That is why he is saying that. It's a very rare knowledge. That's why he is talking about it like that. Yeah.
Among the seekers, one given person.
Swamiji, but can we have someone in a corporate like this who does not seek anything but is still part of the corporate? Can be working in a corporate but does not seek anything in the sense, can we have a person like that?
Yeah, definitely. Why? That is why that famous example, no? Janakadaya, king. And there are a lot of kings, like even that Ajata Satru is supposed to be the king in what do you call Maitreya Brahmanam. It comes. Ajata Satru is a king. He explains to a rishi what is happiness. He goes and shows a sleeping person. See how he is sleeping, how happily he is sleeping. That is happiness. He explains to him. He is explaining to a rishi how to easily look at happiness by being self. So it is possible. It was there. That is why they say, no, it was there for the rishis as well as the kings in those days. We have become so busy, we are looking for somebody else to tell us all these things. That is what it is. It is possible. It is the natural thing for a human being. Human being is mainly like this. You are being first, then everything else. Whereas we start right from beginning of life, we start doing things. So we forget the being. So somebody else has to come and tell you are being first. That is why in Panini language also, they say he started with Panchami. Panchami means fifth case. He didn't start with first case, subject, second case, object, third case, predicate, that is by what and for what and all that. He didn't start the language because he says all these four karakas, that is I, do something, to get something, buy something. These are all why it happens? It is because you have lost yourself. From what? All this has come. Etasmat, tasmat, etasmat. This I have told in Taitriyam also, no? Tasmat, etasmat, atmanaha, akasha, sambodha, akashat, vayuhu, and all that starts. So, fifth case, Panini himself, he started the language from the fifth case. And he says, Dhruvam apaye apadanam, meaning, Dhruvam means Satyam. Apaye means if you don't understand, then creation starts. Till then there is no creation. Because you have moved away from Satyam, Mithya appears as Satyam, then you start chasing this, that, that becomes your life. Because from where it's all started is you, Atma. From you, the whole creation has started. Because you have mistook it. Mistook it in the sense you are oblivious of it. That is what it is. So once we understand that, thereafter we can, wherever we are, as long as we understand this is the reality, with this reality, everything else can be transacted. Nothing goes away. Everything will be transacted. But not, you know that we give only that much of reality to what is happening around. It is something like a movie, which we have been discussing. Just do it, play the role. Everyone plays the role as per the script, ditto to the script. You will play the, Amitabh Bachchan plays the role of a beggar happily. Why? Because he knows he is not the beggar. He is going to be, Swami used to say, he used to be richer by playing the role of a beggar. So like that, we are all rich people as Atma. If only we understand, we can become richer by playing our roles. That is what it is, yeah.
Among the seekers, one given person knows the reality. Further, he says, Yatatam api siddhanam. Among the people who are making effort, Kaschit, here is a rare person, Mam Veti, who knows me, Tattvataha, in reality.
Generally, people will explain, who knows me, meaning who knows Bhagavan. Generally, that's what. But if you really look at the whole thing, who knows me means self. So that's what the whole Gita, wherever Mam, Bhagavan says, if you substitute that with I, then the whole understanding is complete. But generally they won't. The entire, even the Shastrakara, even all religious heads will tell Mam means Bhagavan. So you have to know Bhagavan. And only you will be happy. Keep on telling that. So by doing that, they will ensure that the Ishvara is the other. So you have to keep seeking him. Like you have sought job, you have to seek Ishvara. Till 60, you have to seek job. Thereafter, you have to seek Ishvara. So the life continues. That is how it is. Whereas Gita, in wherever mom it comes, there you put aham. Then understanding is complete. That is what the entire 7th chapter is all about. Yeah.
Siddhas are people who have become successful. Here he says among the successful people, only one person knows me. Then what about the others who are also called successful by you? Do they not know you? If not, how can you call them successful? Therefore, Siddha here is only a seeker. Being an adjective to Yatatam, Siddhanam means among the people who make effort for Siddhi. The one who does so is considered as a Siddha already. Why? Because once he makes an effort, he will reach his end. Krishna has already said anyone who makes effort for moksha does not come to a bad end. Na hi kalyana krita kaschit durgatim tata gachati.
This we have discussed already, 6.40. Nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim tata gachati. He asked, no? Arjuna asked, what happens? I started the effort, I have left all that and I have started this. Suppose I don't complete in this birth, what happens? Don't worry, you will come back and complete it. That's what he assures him. That is what it means. Nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim tata gachati. Yeah.
So keeping moksha in view as a result of their efforts, he calls a seeker Siddha here. We also use words in this way. For example, a medical student is called a doctor even though he has only completed 2 years of college and it is accepted because he is going to become a doctor later. Therefore, Shankara considers those who are making effort for moksha to be Siddhas because they are going to become Siddhas. If not in this life, later. Among them, there is one who at this time knows me, Kaschit Mam Veti. Here, Krishna uses the present tense. One person knows me, others are in the process of knowing me. Spiritual seekers are of many varieties, but you cannot call them as Siddhas. Only those who engage themselves in the pursuit of the knowledge of the Swarupa of Parameshwara are Siddhas, and they are very few. Why is this so? Adhikaritva qualification is necessary. It is like marathon running. A lot of people start, but finally one person reaches the destination.
Yeah, see, Siddha also we know. Generally, Siddha means what is already achieved. There is another meaning for Siddha. Siddha is what is already here. Siddha Purusha, we say that. Siddha Purusha meaning who is already attained. So, this is what is referred to as Praptasya Praptihi. What is already, you are already self. You just have to know it. So it is already Siddham. Whether you know it or not, Siddham is a fact of life. So you have to only understand. So all of us are Siddha in that fashion, in that understanding. Because there is no, other than human being, there is no other Siddha. Siddha is, because you are self. And only that you have not known it. You have taken it for granted. You see, the problem is, you are self. If you don't know it correct, don't take it correctly, you will take it wrongly. Aparoksha, asamsari is your reality. If you don't understand that reality, what you become? Aparoksha samsari. Aparoksha is self. So you can't escape it. If you don't know that you are mukta purusha, siddha purusha, you are going to be a samsari. So it is so very drastic it is. If you don't know, you are a samsari. If you know, you are mukta. So that is what is our reality. So it is not, there is nothing in between. You cannot jump the well halfway. You have to either jump it fully or you don't jump. That is how it is. Yeah.
Krishna says all this not to frighten Arjuna but to enthuse him. If someone tells you that among thousands, one person really chooses to know, and among those people who choose to know, one person knows, then even before you start, you will think, I have no chance.
No chance.
I have no chance. But Shankara looks at the whole thing as something that is meant to create interest in Arjuna's mind. Why? Because the knowledge that Krishna is going to unfold is something that is very important. So this verse is to draw Arjuna's attention and not to discourage him. Having drawn Arjuna's attention by these three introductory verses, which only mention the topic, Bhagavan now starts the description of Ishvara. We will see the verses later. Now let us just see the meaning.
The twofold cause of creation. There are two prakritis. The word prakriti means that which has the essential capacity to create. Prakriti is also called karana, the cause. Krishna says, I have two prakritis. One is Swarupa Prakriti and the other is Swabhava Prakriti. Swarupa Prakriti. One Prakriti is the cause of everything, the truth of everything, without which nothing is possible. This is called Swarupa or Para Prakriti. Swarupa is that which makes something what it is. For example, ice is cold and that coldness is its Swarupa. You cannot remove it and still have ice. Similarly, here Atma cannot give up its nature, consciousness. Consciousness is the Swarupa of Atma. It is not a quality, an attribute of Atma. There is no other person there for whom consciousness is an attribute. In fact, the I itself is in the form of a conscious being alone. Therefore, consciousness is the Swarupa of Atma. It is not an attribute of Atma. If consciousness is the Swarupa of Atma, there are a few other facts we recognize about consciousness. It is Satya, it is Ananta, etc. From the various standpoints of our knowledge about the world, we say this consciousness is Satya. It means everything else is not Satya. This consciousness alone is Satya. It is not that we are refusing to accept another Satya. There is only one Satya, that is Atma. Generally, we think that what exists is Satya. Here, we take that existence itself to be consciousness. And because it is Satya, it is Ananta without limit. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma is Atma. This is the Prakriti of everything. Here you must understand Prakriti as the cause of everything, Sarvasya Karanam. Therefore, it is called the Swarupa Prakriti. Swabhava Prakriti. There is another Prakriti which we call Swabhava Prakriti or Apara Prakriti, consisting of the five elements, both subtle and gross. It is divided into Karana, cause, and Karya, effect. Because the Karya is not separate from the Karana, the Karya is also called Prakriti. Therefore, we have the expression Karya Prakriti. A physical body consisting of the five elements is also Karya Prakriti, as are the sense organs, the mind, and pranas. In other words, anything created, anything put together is a Karya Prakriti. Karya here is anything that is produced, anything put together. If we look at this Prakriti, this is also called Maya, Avyakta, or Mula Prakriti. This Prakriti is the Upadhi from which the whole creation has come. And the Upadhi is for Paramatma. Therefore, Sat Chit Ananda Atma becomes the real cause, Swarupa Prakriti, for this entire world, and Maya is the Swabhava Prakriti or Karya Prakriti. Now, where does this Maya have its being? Is it in the product or in Brahman? It is in Brahman. It cannot be elsewhere because the product itself is Mithya. So, this Maya has its being in Brahman. Brahma Ashrayahi Maya. Brahman is Satyam Jnanam Anantam, which is Atma. That Brahman is the Ashraya for Maya and its products.
So is it okay? Like you are now, most of these things we have discussed it before also. Are you clear about these things? Is there any doubt?
Yeah.
Clear,
Okay.
clear.
Yeah, okay.
In this chapter, Lord Krishna first talks about Karya or Apara Prakriti. Then he says there is another Prakriti, Para Prakriti. That is the real cause without which there cannot be any creation. The real cause means that which supplies the existence and without which there is no creation possible. He says the truth of the whole creation, the real cause is my Swarupa, and you are that Swarupa. That is the real Prakriti, and therefore what you have to know is that real Prakriti, which is Ishvara in reality. You have to know these two types of Prakritis and know that the Swarupa or Para Prakriti, without which there is no creation at all, is yourself. I am you. In fact, I am the cause of everything and I am you. This means you are the cause of everything as Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. The next question you will ask will be, how can I be the cause? How can I be Ishvara? If you say you are a Jiva, you will continue to be a Jiva. You will never become Ishvara. An individual is an individual. He is not going to become Ishvara. If you say I am Ishvara, then the problem is, where is this I placed? That has to be understood. Therefore, in the verses that follow, Krishna unfolds the two types of Prakriti to prove that Ishvara is everything and his Swarupa is you. Verse 4, Prakriti is divided in an eightfold way. Bhumi rapo nala vayuhu kammano buddhireva cha ahamkara iti yamme binna prakriti rashtadha. Bhumihi earth, apaha water, analaha fire, vayuhu air, kam space, manaha mind, buddhihi intellect, ahamkara evacha, and indeed the sense of doership. Iti, thus, iyam me prakritihi. This prakriti of mine, ashtada, in an eightfold way, binna, is divided. Earth, water, fire, air, space, mind, intellect, and indeed the sense of doership. Thus, this Prakriti of mine is divided in an eightfold way. The twofold Prakriti mentioned in the introduction to this chapter is the cause of this entire world. In this chapter, they are called Para and Apara Prakritis. Para Prakriti is the ultimate cause without which there is no effect possible. Then the immediate cause is called Apara Prakriti, in other words, Maya, and all that is immediately born of Maya. Because subtle elements are the causes for the gross elements, which come later, they are mentioned first here as Apara Prakriti. Iyam, this entire world, is my Prakriti, me Prakriti, divided in an eightfold way, Ashtada Binna. Ashta is eight. Ashtada is eightfold. Here he tells us what are the eightfold subtle constituents, beginning with the earth, Bhumi, as a Tanmatra, a subtle element. Tanmatra means Tat Matra, that alone is there. In grossification, each element combines with the other four elements. But in the subtle form, such a combination has not taken place. So they are called Tanmatras. Each element has its own guna, which we experience sensorily. For instance, the earth has its own guna, smell, and so the smell Tanmatra is what is referred to as here as Bhumi. Similarly, the taste Rasa Tanmatra is water, Apaha. Form Tanmatra is fire, Agni. Touch Tanmatra is air, Vayu. Sound Tanmatra is space, Kham. Prakriya, a teaching model. Using a particular model like this to teach the nature of the creation is using Srishti Prakriya. A Prakriya is a particular discussion which is useful for understanding the vision. The intention of using any Prakriya is only to point out that there is nothing other than Param Brahma. So the intention of a Prakriya dealing with creation, Srishti, is not to reveal the creation but to establish that there is nothing other than Brahman. Like the Srishti Prakriya, there are many other prakriyas, teaching models, such as Avastatraya Prakriya, an analysis of the three states of experience, Panchakosha Prakriya, an analysis of the 5 levels of one's experience of oneself, and Drik Drishya Prakriya, subject-object analysis to distinguish Atma from Anatma and later prove that Anatma is not separate from Atma because it is Mithya. The 5 elemental model of this universe is a part of the creation or cause-effect Prakriya, Srishti Prakriya or Karana Karya Prakriya. We find this Srishti Prakriya in many Upanishads.
Shall I read?
Yes. To understand.
Shruti Prakriya. Analysis of
Srishti Prakriya.
Srishti Prakriya. Analysis of creation in Chandogya Upanishad. Chandogya Upanishad. In the 6th chapter of Chandogya Upanishad, the sage
Chandogya.
How we can? What is the Anvayam? This Padachela?
Chandas. See, it is all in Chandas. Chandogyam meaning it is in Chandas. The meter is Chandas. So it is called Chandogya Upanishad. Chandas means a Gayatri Chandas we say, Gayatri Chandasam. Chandas is a meter. So Chandogya Upanishad is Gayatri is Chandas. So it is the verses are in Chandas form. So it is called Chandogya Upanishad. Yeah.
Swamiji, the previous para, Avastatraya Panchakosha Prakriya.
Yeah. Avastatrayam is Mandukya Upanishad, that is waking, dream and sleep. Using the 3, we explain. Like it says, I have told you before also, like, see, in every dream, what happens? You are waking, you have got something intensely, you are going through some experience or some thoughts and all that. That becomes a dream. So, dream is nothing but the thoughts in the waking, and there in dream, the dreamer is nothing but the waker taking a light form, that's all. There is a dreamer, and everything in the dream, all are your thoughts only. The mountain, the ship, the lion that is there in the dream is also, everything is you. You, the being, the thoughts thereof form the elements of the dream world. So the dream, and who is lighting up the whole thing is the Tejomaya Antakarana Vrittihi, meaning the light of consciousness in the dream is the one which lights up the whole thing. There is no one else. There is nothing. Antakarana is sleeping, mind, everything is because even dream, how do you get dream? You go to sleep first. You become completely, you become dead to the waking world. Then only dream comes. Directly you don't go from waking to dream. That is called daydreaming. Whereas dream comes when you really go to sleep. From there you wake up to dream. So the dream creation itself is purely involuntary. It happens because of your Antakarana Tejas. And the sense the Tejas that is really making you alive in the waking is the same Tejas that is making you alive in the dream also. But we say we dream. I was there and I had gone through this experience and all we say. But we don't take it, we take it for granted. Who is really lighting up the dream? The same conscious being. In the same way, that is dream. In waking, what happens? In waking also, as I have always been telling right now, when we are discussing, I am seeing you, I am seeing him. We think that you are outside, and I am here, we are seeing each other and transacting. Which is not true, because when I see you, what I see? The image of you falls in my retina. And that retina, what is happening in my retina only I see. I am not seeing you. I am seeing what is happening in my retina, and who is lighting up that retina? What is the image of that retina? Mind. Who is lighting up the image of that mind? Conscious being. Like even in the dream, the Tejomaya Antakarana Vritti, here also the same light of consciousness only is lighting up my thoughts right now in the waking also. So, there is no difference. Antar Bhishya Tat Sarvam Narayana Sthitaha. The entire thing is nothing but one reality, the waking reality as well as the dream reality. The dream reality we understand it's all only light, there is nothing else once we wake up. But here also, Prabodha Samaye, that's what I have sent to a small article. No? Once you wake up, Prabodha Samaye, this also becomes like a dream reality. Once you wake up, that is called, this way, all the three are explained. In sleep, nothing is there. That is something like pralayam, layam. That's why it's called layam. So, by avastatraya prakriya, this is the way it is explained. In avastatraya prakriya, nothing else other than you is there. Light of consciousness, you, the being, is the only thing that is there. That is one way of explaining. That is called avastatraya prakriya. Panchakosha prakriya is what is explained in Taittiriya Upanishad. Tasmat akasha sambhudaha akashat vayuhu vayor agnihi agniyor apaha adya pradibyor oshadibhya oshadibhyo annam annat purushaha. Again the cycle. So that is by way of explaining the five koshas. Kosha means what? Kosha, your kosha. Meaning you assume that you are body. Then you assume you are manas. Then you assume you are prana. Like that you keep on. All your sheets of ignorance by scrutiny through the help of the prakriya, you understand you are neither annam, nor prana, nor vayu. Finally, you come to what? Anandam brahmeti vidanat. In the sense, you come to understand that I, the being, the conscious being, is the only reality. All these are only, it appears, it is not really real. Like that. That is called Panchakosha Prakriya. That is explained in certain, like Taittiriya Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad, Avastatraya Prakriya. Like that, each one of them, they are all called models. In the sense, the models are not to justify that there is a real Srishti outside. There is no real creation outside. But since we think that there is a creation, from what we know, the Shastra is taking us to the reality through these Prakriyas. So that you understand. So that is why it is called Prakriya, means a model. Model itself, once you know model is not reality. Model is a method by which you are made to understand reality. So we should not think that model, Vedala Chulirke, Upanishad Chulirke, it should be real. No. They are only models. That is why if it is a reality, how can you say Panchakosha and sometimes three, sometimes there are only three element models are also there. Agni, Vayu, Agni, water and earth, because they are only physically available. Vayu and space nobody sees. So sometimes the 5 elemental model they don't use. They use only 3 elemental model. So these are all models. Model itself, anyone who knows science or anyone they know, model means what? It is only a method. Model panni vechikona is not reality. Model apata you can understand reality. Everywhere, even a temple, first they put a model in front of the temple, they put a model. This is how the temple is going to be. But that is not reality. Through that model, you understand how the real temple is going to be. In the same way, all these are only models. It is not to justify that there is a real Srishti outside. There is no creation, there is no world outside. Only you, the reality. That is what it keeps on, Bhagavan keeps telling, it's you. It's me, me means you. Me means you. The whole 7th chapter will keep telling. Mattaha anyaha na. And you have to also say the same thing. Mattaha anyaha na. Like you, when I say, Bhagavan says Mattaha anyaha na, you are willing to agree. Yeah, correct. Only Ishvara is there. But when he says, you also say the same thing. How can I be Ishvara? Next question. So that is what they are explaining. Since you have that question, universally everyone has that question. They are using these models to explain. Upanishads is trying its best to make us understand that this is the reality. There is no reality other than you. Everything else is available for Vyavahara, doing things. But just because you have Vyavahara, it doesn't become real. Reality and Vyavahara are different. And that is what the Drik Drisya Viveka, that's what one of the models Prakriya has told, no? Drik Drisya Viveka is, first it says, anything Drisyam, everything is Drisyam. You are the only Drik. Finally it says, you are only is there is no Drisyam. So, only you are there means Drik Drisya first, it starts with everything you see and transact is called Drishyam. Finally it says, Drigeva, Natu Drishyate, there is no Drishyam other than that Drik. Like for example, flower. You say flower. And I see flower. So I see flower, so it is flower is. You analyze that. Flower means what? Flower is petal. Is petal flower? No, no. Petal is petal. Flower. It contains, flower contains petal. Then stamen, then pollen, then fragrance, then stem. All those things. All these things are not flower, but put together they become flower. But who is putting together? The conscious being. We don't know. A Chetana, intelligent being puts together all this. Then it is called. Okay, does it come and say I am flower? You give the name. You give the name petal, you give the name flower, and you transact with it, and you say flower. It is not. The Chaitanyam, the intelligent cause that puts together all these things, it is silent, it is Swarupa. Whereas it is all, since it's all come together to available for transaction, you say there is a flower. So finally, what is flower? Flower is something which has flowerness. So flower is something which has flowerness means what? No thing. It is not a flowerness, not a thing. But you call it flower. Yeah, something which is not a thing, you call it a thing by giving the name flower. That means what? Everything is only nama and rupa, word and meaning. It's all in your head. There is nothing outside. What is outside is only the intelligent cause, the being. Which is the intelligent cause for your head also, your mind also, your antakarana also. What lights up your antakarana, lights up the flower, makes it the flower, makes you the human being. So there is only one reality, that is being. This is called Drisya Viveka. So that is another prakriya. That way also it can be explained. The whole thing, the different ways people can understand differently. By whatever way you understand, finally you understand that you are the only reality. And the reality is Desa Kala Vastu Aparichinnam. Timeless, spaceless, vastuless. It's not a thing, it's just the being. That is what is explained here. That's what the whole thing is all about. Yeah.
Swamiji, what exactly is Antakarana? You said it is stages.
Tejo, well, tejas means light, that's all. Light is, because some language you have to use, no? The light is, actually it is nothing but, light means what? Knowledge, which is opposed to ignorance. Ignorance is what? Dark. So darkness is opposed by light. Ignorance is opposed by knowledge. So knowledge means immediately we'll think knowledge of an object. No, knowledge per se, Swarupa. That is why it's called light of consciousness. Chaitanyam, Tattanchit. Existence, knowledge, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahman. So many ways, people, the Shastrakara, they are making so much effort to make you understand and ensure that you don't misunderstand. Because it will always immediately come, knowledge means knowledge of an object. Oh, that means it should be in the mind. That is mind means it should be in the Antakarana. That means Antakarana is the reality. No. The light
what is Antakarana?
Antakarana is just whenever you think of something, like even in, I have explained to you before also, no? The Oracle object-oriented language is there, right? It's just a program. Whenever you are using that program, it gets lighted and it comes into your program. Actually, there is no reality for that. There is no object sitting in the computer. It is just a program. In the same way, Antakarana, Mandukekara goes one step further. There is no mind. When there is a thought, there is a mind. When there is a mind, there is a thought. So both are anyonya ashraya, both depend on each other. So it's mithya. There is nothing mind, neither mind nor thought. There is only Chaitanyam is the reality. The light of consciousness is the only reality. Chit is the only reality. Neither Chittam nor Chaityam is the reality. Only Chit, Swarupa is the reality. That's what he is talking about here as Swarupa. Swarupa is the only reality. Swabhava means only for transaction purpose, Swabhavam. Here he talks about no Swabhavam. Bhavam means appears. Swarupam means reality. Swarupam, Chaitanyam, Sat Chit Anandam, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, Atma, Ishvara, Swarupa is the only reality, which is not a thing. It is Desha Kala Vastu Aparichinnam, which we have discussed in the entire first 6 chapters. That is Atma, that is Brahman. So everything else appears. Since it appears, since you are so much worked up with it, through what it appears, what you have been thinking, that is, this is self, this is my world, this is what I do, etc., etc. From there, slowly it is trying to make you see reality. Initially, it validates everything. and slowly asks you to come to your reality. That's what? By explaining Tvam Padartha, they have explained first 6 chapters. Now this next 6 chapters, Tatpada, they are going to explain. Through that, they will try to take you to the reality. Finally, they will say both are one and the same, that is Swarupa, you is the only reality. So by 18 chapters, Bhagavan is trying to make us understand that reality is only the being. Yeah.
Okay. So Chaitanya and Antakaranam are different.
Chaitanyam is a reality. Antakarana is only a upaya. It is only an instrument. And when you go to sleep, it is not there. That means what? Antakarana goes to sleep. When you go to sleep, Antakarana is not there. Next day morning, it is there. How come?
Okay.
It is mithya. In the sense, it is in the Sannidhanam of Atma. That's all.
Oh.
Yeah.
Swamiji, you talked about Drishya model.
Yeah.
Where is it? Where is the model explained? Where is it coming?
It is there, no? The Drishya book, Drishya Viveka is written by Vidyaranya.
Oh.
It's a book. We have got our book in our own bookstall. It is there. Drishya Viveka book is there. Swamiji's commentary on Drishya Viveka. Some 30 odd verses are there. That one of the important verse in the middle is Asti Bhati Priyam Nama Rupa Asmat Panchakam Adyatrayam Brahma Rupam Tatodvayam Jagat Rupam. So Asti Bhati Priyam Satyam Jnanam Anantam is your reality. Asti Bhati Priyam Nama Rupam. The world which you are transacting with is nothing but Nama and Rupa, word and meaning. There is no reality for you. That is one prakriya. So, by this one sentence in the middle of this Viveka verses, 30 verses or so, this is some 22nd verse or something. Vidyaranya makes it very clear. There is Jagat and there is only 5. Asti Bhati Priyam, Nama Rupam Asmat Panchakam, Adyatrayam Brahma Rupam, Tatodvayam Jagat Rupam. So, Nama Rupam, word and meaning, is nothing, is the only world which you are transacting with. That is why even in the Bible or Old Testament it is called, in the beginning there was word, the word was with God, the word is God. There is no world other than word. Word and meaning. You give the word and meaning. No? We are all knowing. All along we know. My world is what? My world is my world of word and meaning, which is in my mind. Antakaranam, it is. This and that. It's all there. Even we think that there is a Dakshinamurti says, Dakshinamurti Stotram says, Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam Nija Andargatam Pasyan Atmani Maya Bahir Udbhutam Iva Yata Nidraya. எப்படி நீ ட்ரீம்ல பாக்குறியோ அதே மாதிரி வெளியில இருக்குன்னு நினைச்சிட்டு இருக்க இந்த வேக்கிங்ல. There is no waking world. It is only a dream world. There is no difference between waking and dream. That is the first slokam of Dakshinamurti. Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam Nijandargatam Pasyan Atmani Maya Bahir Udbhutam Iva Yata Nidraya Yat Sakshat Kurute Prabodha Samaye Swatmanam Eva Advayam Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye. So Prabodha Samaye, if you wake up from this waking reality to the real reality, Prabodha Samaye, Swatmanam Eva Advayam, you only are the only reality. Advayam, there is no second. Tasmai, this is எனக்கு புரிய வைக்கிற தட்சிணாமூர்த்தி. Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Over, whole Vedanta is told.
Oh. Swamiji, you talked about three kind of vyavastha: Swapna vyavastha, Jagrata vyavastha. And what is the other one?
Third, sleep. That is sleep. Sleep is pralayam. It's layam. You don't have to go for pralayam. Kaligalam mudiyappa pralayam varapodana theriyanda. Every day you are going through pralayam, layam. In sleep, nothing is there. Only Ishvara is there.
There is third kind of vyavastha also you told, na?
Yeah, avasthatrayam. Meaning,
what is Swapna, what is Jagrata, and what is the third kind?
Sleep. Sushupti avastha.
Sushupti is sleep.
Yes.
Okay. Oh. Sleep without Swapna.
Sleep, yeah, dream is Swapna. Sleep is deep sleep.
Without Swapna.
Without Swapna, yes, that's called deep sleep.
Okay.
Swamiji, when we are reading sloka, when we are reciting sloka or doing puja, at that time the mind starts wandering.
Yeah, that is mind job is like that. Mind has to wander, no? Can't help it.
Mind is wandering, and when it is wandering, it is thinking of several things.
Yes.
Is that wake up stage or dream stage or what is that?
Yeah, you can, lot of us do the daydreaming. We don't accept that, that's all. That's why we don't need a dream to explain. Daydream is more than enough. Actually, most of our daydream only, some of them you think it is reasonable, the world will accept, you act on it. Otherwise, better to keep it quiet. If you start discussing your daydream, people will throw you out. You are prudent enough not to tell your daydream to others. From that, whatever is sensible, you take and act. That is why, I was Sarvan Kaman Prajahati, Yata Kaman, Sarvan Partha Manogatan. Bhagavane சொல்றார் மனசுல என்னென்னவோ வந்துட்டு இருக்கும் சர்வான் பார்த்த மனோகதான் ஆத்மனி ஆத்மனா துஷ்டா ஸ்தித பிரஜ்ஞஸ்டு உச்சதே. அதுல வந்து whatever is correct only you will act on. That fellow is called a sane person. Otherwise you will be called insane person. So that the mind thinks and thinks too many fancy things is not a big deal. It is supposed to do that. This is job. Something like your binary 010101. As long as it is active in the computer only, we will call it an active computer. Otherwise, it will go off. Oh, it has become silent. Bolega.
But then it's all wake-up state. That's what.
Daydreaming is wake-up state. Dreaming is involuntary, it happens. So it is dream. It's called dream. That is why it's called first wave. From the waking, you go to deep sleep. Then only you wake up to dream. You don't directly go from waking state to dream. That is called daydreaming. When you go from waking up to total dead, you are dead to the world, you sleep. Then you wake up. That is called real dream. That is Bhagavan.
Actually, Swamiji, in Android phone and laptop, we have this face recognition now. So sometimes after you get up in the morning, when your hair is all ruffled and you've not combed your hair, it says, cannot recognize your face. You are still in wake-up state. Go clean yourself and come back.
Yeah, it's all. See, finally, that's what I tell you. No, these things are finally. It's all the sense. Everything is. Yeah, camera. I've explained also before. What is camera? Capturing the present in the past to view in the future. So, at the end of the day, we are all going to be either living in the past or living in the future. Present is gone for good. The camera has taken care of. And AI also will take care of it further. So, we will be all zombies at the end of the day.
In the 6th chapter of Chandogya Upanishad, the sage Uddalaka tells his son Swetaketu that before the creation of this world, there was only one thing. It was Sat, existence, Advaita, Advitiya, non-dual, and there was nothing except that Advitiya, because there was no other Satvastu like itself, nor was there any Vastu unlike itself, and in itself there were no parts. It was one non-dual. Since there was no difference within itself, nor was there any differentiating factor, it is a partless whole. Mentioning this Satvastu in his opening statement, Uddalaka talks about the creation of the elemental world from this Satvastu. He mentions only 3 elements, the elements which have formed Murta Bhutas, Agni, the Apaha, water, and Prithvi, the earth. The 2 elements without a form, Akasha and Vayu, are not mentioned. The purpose was only to show that having come from Satvastu, They don't have a being of their own apart from the Satvastu. In fact, the creation is non-separate from its cause, like the pot is non-separate from its clay. Finally, he says, O Svetaketu, that Satvastu is Atma. Everything else is created. The body is created, the mind is created, the senses are created, but what is not created is Atma. And that is Satvastu, which was existent even before creation. Even now it is Satvastu, uncreated Atma. And therefore, Tattvam Asi, you are that. From nine standpoints, he points out that the Vastu is always the same. Before and after the creation, it is the same. The Atma Vastu did not undergo any change. Now, even though it is Upadana Karana, material cause, it is Upadana Karana. In terms of Maya, Karana. Upadana Karana, okay. Upadana Karana in terms of Mithya, without
Maya.
undergoing Maya. Maya is Mithya only.
Yes.
Without undergoing any change itself, the Satvastu manifests in the form of this world with the Sakti of Maya. And the creation being purely Nama Rupa is Mithya. The truth of the creation, the Satvastu, is you, Atma. So, to create this version that you are the Satvastu, to create this vision that you are the Satvastu and the world is non-separate from the Satvastu, we have a Shruti Prakriya.
Shishti Prakriya, meaning a model.
Shishti Prakriya.
Model of creation, yeah.
Swamiji, can you explain this paragraph?
Which paragraph?
Very difficult.
This Satvastu, no? The same thing. Like, see, Satvastu is the easiness. Sat means ease. In English, it is ease. Easiness. Easiness means what? Which has easiness does not have a time or a space or a thing. Just easiness. So, which I had been continuously maintaining. Desha Kala Vastu Aparichinnam. The being is called Sat. Okay. Now, the Sat is the only existent thing, Chaitanyam, whatever you call it. Sat Vastu it is. And what he says, even now it is Sat Vastu. The body is created, the mind is created, the senses are created. But what is not created is Atma. He says for that, he gives the example. That's Shvetaketu. First he tells him, did you ask from your teacher the reality, knowing which everything else is as well known? And Shvetaketu tells him, no, I have been a very good student. If my teacher does not know this, because if he had known, he would have told me. If he had told me, I would have known. That very fact that I don't know, I'm very angry. I asked you whether you know, whether you heard, and you are talking such a big thing. Then he gives a stern look, then he asks, okay, now you tell me, I understand that I made a mistake, now you tell me. Now he starts telling him, the Satvastu is knowing which everything else is as well known. That is what he says is Atma. And he gives an example of Mrittika. Mrittika means clay. Say, which I have some time back also I have told you. You imagine a pot without thinking of a substance. Can you do that? We can't even imagine. Forget creating a pot. We can't even imagine a pot without thinking of some substance, glass or mud or whatever. That means what? That thing by which you are bringing out a pot is the Satyam. Pot is only the Nama Rupa. Then again, if you go to clay is only a name. Sand or silica is the Nama Rupa. Clay is the Nama Rupa, silica is the reality. If you go to silica, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, a long chain is a reality, silica is only the name. Like that, if you go on, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen are only atoms. If you go the reality, finally they are protons and neutrons. Finally they are only concepts. Finally what is this? Only consciousness. The Sat, the easiness alone is the reality. Everything else is Nama Rupa. Whatever you transact in life is only Nama Rupa. That is what he is trying to tell. The body, the mind, everything is only a Nama Rupa. There is nothing called mind. There is nothing called body. You say body means what? Since the sense of touch runs all over the body, you say that there is a body. Whereas your eyes go all over, your mind goes all over, even it goes to stars. So, wherever it goes, if it is you, that means you are everywhere. But you restrict yourself to the body because your sense of touch runs all over the body. And you say, since my sense of touch is circumscribed by this body is me and I am this body. We restrict ourselves to that. So, but body, if you really scrutinize life, you scrutinize part. Body also is nothing but elements and elementals. And elements and elementals are nothing but name and form. And if you really further scrutinize, they all come down to atoms and molecules and particles and space in between. Finally, space alone is there. Like even one part has got one space, another part has got another space, third part has got third space. You can't say because space is divided because of the parts. No. Space is only one. Part is only a circumscribed material. Because of which you call this part space, that's part. Likewise, your body also is nothing but space. And elements and elementals, Panchabhuta, it's all over. And Panchabhuta also is only, that's what he is explaining, Tanmatra. Tanmatra means, again, Akasha, you call it Akasha. Why you call it Vayu? Everything is only light of consciousness, isness, Satyam. So that is finally everything comes down to Satyam. And the Atma. And that is Brahman. That is what he is saying, that now even though it is Upadana Karana, material cause, it is only name and form. Maya means what? Which I have explained. Yama sa Maya. That which does not have a thing is Maya. That is Mithya. In the sense, it's only for transaction purpose you are saying elements, this and that and all that. Whereas everything is only conscious being. That is why he says, there is no Upadana Karana. The Upadana Karana which you are talking about is only Maya. Then what is? Sattvastu alone is. And manifests in this form of the world with the Shakti of Maya. And the creation being purely Nama Rupa is Mithya. The truth of the creation is the Sattvastu is you, Atma. And you can say Ishvara, because Ishvara is also the same Sattvastu. So to create this vision that you are the Sattvastu and the world is non-separate from the Sattvastu, we have a Srishti Prakriya. Because from what you know, from what you have been transacting, the whole world is transacting, from that, Terinjada Vechi Teriyada Chalitara. That's all. The whole Shastra is nothing but from what you think that it is, they take you to the reality of what is. That is what this para is all about.
Very good.
Shall we conclude? Purna Vidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamada